Staying with the government draft on the constitutional amendment, our Mok-yeon provides a closer look into its content and whether it will end up as the official proposal to be voted on by the people this summer.
The key content of the draft proposal handed over to President Moon by a Special Advisory Council on the Constitution would change the current 5-year single-term presidency to a 4-year post with the possibility of one re-election. And the nation's capital will be set by legislative statute rather than being named specifically in the Constitution as it is now. Some other issues are the decentralization of power, especially the existing right of the president to grant pardons and provisions for the public to take the initiative in making laws. Right now, getting the most attention are the issues of the presidency. Since 1987, South Korean presidents have been limited to a single 5-year term to prevent the long-term seizure of power. The government's draft proposal would allow a sitting president to seek re-election once, and failing to win again after the first term, they would be barred from running for the post again. That proposal is now in the hands of President Moon, but still no draft from the National Assembly, whose version President Moon has said would get priority. It's likely that the president will submit the government's draft proposal to Parliament by March 21st, at which point lawmakers will have 60 days to vote on it. After that, President Moon and the ruling party plan to hold a national referendum on the constitutional revision on the day of the June 13th local elections. But some say the chance the government's proposal could be withdrawn if the National Assembly submits its own draft.
According to the Constitution, both the President and the majority of the nation's lawmakers have the authority to propose an amendment. Since the proposal will need the approval of the National Assembly in the coming days, I think that if the National Assembly submits its own draft, it'll be better for the President to propose a draft for a prompt and definite revision.
Other experts say that what's important at this point is for all sides to work together and negotiate on the revision.
We have about 3 months from March to June, and I think it's quite a short period of time to change the Constitution. I think the Constitution could actually be revised after the government and both sides of the National Assembly negotiate on their final proposal, which could then be evaluated by the public.
However, the changes, even if implemented, will not affect incumbent President Moon Jae-in, whose term falls under the current Constitution. Mok-yeon, Arirang News.